Hi, Sue, Carolyn for Carolyn Talks YouTube channel and podcast channel. I was just telling the Haenyeo, this is actually the third film within the last 2 years that I've seen about Haenyeo. The first one was Smugglers by Ru Sung-won.
Yes.
And then also I was at the Jeonju International Film Festival in May, and I actually interviewed filmmaker Ji-hye-won about her film Voices, which is about the history of Jeju Island and the Jeju Massacre.
Oh, wait. Yes, 4-3, yes.
Yes, and in that she actually interviewed some Haenyeo who are still alive on the island. So I want to ask you about, first of all, just tapping into the historical aspect of what the Haenyeo mean for Korea, but also specifically Jeju Island, because they aren't found anywhere else in the world. It's a specifically Korean culture and heritage.
I love that you know so much about this subject. You're so well informed. I think that's part of what's so incredible about their story is the pure history of this culture. So they have been diving for hundreds of years, and they have been this matriarchal society in a deeply patriarchal country like Korea. They were breadwinners and they were matriarchs for hundreds of years, and it's kind of unheard of. There's not any really true matriarchal societies these days. So I think the fact that they've been doing this work, that they're such a valuable resource to the island of Jeju, and that they basically rule the island for hundreds of years, that in and of itself is such a remarkable feat of their culture. But and that's not even talking about the pure physicality of what they do and how hard it is and how long that they've been doing it. So I think everything about them, what it shows is just these trailblazers. They're trailblazers of working women, trailblazers of women who are empowered, who created agency for themselves, women who created financial independence for themselves, and women who created leadership roles in their communities by virtue of their strength and their just pure ability to lead and earn money and support the culture of Jeju. It's so inspiring.
It is, and something that I learned not too long ago is that one of the things about, because Jeju has its own language, it's dying about the people working to preserve it. One of the things about Haenyeo is that they are they're referred to as samchong, uncle, as a term of respect.
Yes, exactly.
Which I think is so special, as you mentioned. It's a patriarchal society that existing within it's a matriarchal society exists within a patriarchal country, and the fact that they have a masculine term as a sign of respect for them. Can you just talk about tapping into that particular aspect of their culture? Because I think it's so important that they claim that for themselves. They're like, you're gonna call me this masculine term as a sign of respect, because they're like, we're claiming this sense of status for ourselves. So talk to me about that aspect of the culture.
I love that you know that. That is so little known. And the first time I encountered them being called Samchun, I was very confused, because I know Samchun to be the patriarchal brother of your father, so it's completely on the male side. I think that just speaks to their role on the island. And it's funny because when we were filming with them, when I was casting them and deciding which Haenyeos to focus on, I based it on their stories and their personalities and what they brought to the kind of the way we wanted to tell the culture of Haenyos. But what I didn't realize is they were all widows. All of their husbands had passed away, sometimes decades earlier. And that just came up naturally in interviews, and I realized that they just have this survivalness, this resilience that could not be found, I think, with their men of Jeju as well. So they kind of just have dominated out of their pure existence. It's already just a kind of longer lasting, more resilient existence. So I find all of that so inspiring.
Yeah, and so I know you have to go, so my last question for you is, your previous documentary, Cube, featured your son, who is a world-class cubist, is the word? Speedcuber. And so talk to me about kind of switching gears to make a documentary, because each they're so different. One is more about modern setting, but in this one you're talking about the clash of traditional versus modern. So talk to me about switching gears.
Yeah, you could not find two more disparate and different subcultures than the speedcubing community and the Haenyeo community. But the one thing that they both share is they're both incredibly inspirational, decent, kind communities. And what I found similar about both is that I fell in love with all of my characters in both films, and it's always easy. I found it very easy to make both those films because I genuinely wanted to show these very inspiring stories of how to be a wonderful human, how to be a human that cares for others. You can see that in Speedcubers, and you can see that in this film.
Great. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Okay.